It's on! Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Hey Howdy Hey Geo Disney Parks Talk Live, the weekly or so show in which we talk about what's going on in the world of Disney theme parks, weekly or so. My name is Doobie, co-founder here at Laughing Place. Joining me today for the first time in a while are all three, our standard quattro of participants. So it's kind of exciting. Happy to see everyone again. Over there, we've got Rebecca Mosley.
Hey.
She's the other co-founder here. Down in the corner over there, we've got our vice president in charge of Star Wars, Southern California theme parks, Muppets, Fraggle, and I guess growing the hair again, Mike Celestino.
I'm so close to going to get a haircut. I promise you. Before the media event next week, I'm getting a haircut.
Thank goodness. And then down below us, we have our vice president of Vice President of Disclosure, Jeremiah Good. How you doing, Jeremiah?
I'm disclosing that this shirt was given to me by Roosevelt's. Thank you.
We like Roosevelt's. We recommend them. They make good shirts. Let's see who's here. Gio, how you doing? Kyle Burbank. How you doing? Kyle Burbank. How you doing? And Gio, how you doing? We had a show last week, Gio, and it was a busy week, and we have a show this week, which was another busy week. So let's jump right into it. So we're going to start kind of tangentially to Disney parks, but because Jeremiah is back and he got to experience this, let's talk to Jeremiah about going to New Orleans, which I believe was primarily for Princess and the Frog anniversary, but they may have thrown in some theme park stuff too, right?
It was for the Princess and the Frog 15th anniversary. It's the D23 down in New Orleans event, which when I have my recap, it will state that this is one of the best D23 events I've ever been to. It was a full day on Saturday, starting with a screening of Princess and the Frog, and they brought out Keith David, who is, as most are known with the exception of Kyle, he is Dr. Facilier, the voice of Dr. Facilier in the film. So he came out and talked a little bit, and then all of a sudden they surprised us and Jim Cummings came out, the voice of Ray. So they did a little back and forth before the film. They showed the film, great. And then after the film, the event wasn't until 8 o'clock that night. So the film started at 11, had quite a few hours. They had actually given us on the back of our credentials the ability to take a walking tour of New Orleans to see locations that were used or inspired for the Princess and the Frog and Haunted Mansion, the movie from last year. So I did that for a few hours, went to the event. As you mentioned, there was a little bit of talk of the theme parks. It was just a small presentation about Tiana's Bayou adventure. No big news came out of it. It was really just a recap of the weather vane. They showed the video that you were at, that was at the hall, the music hall, Doobie. What's the name of it?
Radio City.
Preservation Hall?
Preservation Hall. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, and I kept looking for the back of your head in that video, but they did show the crowd. It was a short presentation, but at the end, they said, well, we talked about some fireflies earlier, and they brought up Jim Cummings, and he sang the two songs that Ray sang in the film, which were just amazing to be, within feet of him singing that. They also had a presentation from Becky Klein, the director of the Walt Disney Archives, about the connection between New Orleans and Disney. And then they had one of the local bands perform, and then Keith David came up at the very end to perform friends on the other side. So we saw two of the stars of the film perform, really three of the main songs from the film that everybody knows, and it was just, and there was amazing food. I cannot leave out the food. It was so good. People that had eaten earlier, they're like, no, I'm not going to eat anymore. And I would just watch them start going back and getting more and more of the food. So it was New Orleans. It was amazing.
Cool. I'm glad you got to experience that. A little jealous since New Orleans has been my beat lately, but I couldn't make this one, so I, through gritted teeth, watched you have a good time, Jeremiah. But next time it's me.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump back to Disney Legends. So a lot of D23 Ultimate Fan Event. I got it right the very first time.
Good job.
This week or last week, including the announcement of some Disney Legends within the realm of Disney parks. The first one to be announced was Joe Rohde. We all know Joe Rohde, Imagineer extraordinaire. Best known probably for essentially being the Imagineer behind all of Animal Kingdom, but certainly has many other credits beyond that. So any thoughts on Joe Rohde being named a Disney legend? Is this kind of a reach, or does it seem like a deserved move?
Well, coming with today's news, it seems pretty spot on that he's going to be a new legend. I know that was a talk for later, but I feel like this was a good lead-in for it, Doobie.
What news are you talking about, Jeremiah?
Joe Rohde put on his Instagram this morning that he was walking into Imagineering to do something. And then Walt Disney Imagineering later said that he was there to kind of teach a masterclass of Imagineering to newer Imagineers. I'm not a betting man, but I would bet that he may also be there for something with Animal Kingdom that may be changing, that we may know definite in a few months. I think he's a great addition to it.
I was gonna say it does seem hard to believe given all the announcements kind of circulating around in his visit. You kind of think maybe timing will work out well, but who knows? We'll see. I'm excited about his legend status, though. I mean, I know that the fans really have a great respect and love of projects that are attached to his name. We've seen his likeness used in inside the theme parks, like, as Harrison Hightower overseas and whatnot. So the opportunity to see him in person, at the arena as he accepts the award, I'm ecstatic that that will be part of this Ultimate Fan event.
Rebecca, I'm just because it was pounded into my head. It's not at the arena; it's at the Honda Center.
Fine, the Honda Center, which is
because the arena will be the arena.
Yeah, no, I understand, but Honda Center is an arena.
It is an arena, just not the arena. Joe Rohde made a really nice. I think it was an Instagram.
I still call it Expo.
Thanking everyone for being named a Disney legend. But the end of that, which I really liked, he said, "As for me, I will have to decide whether I want to memorialize my handprints or figure out some way to press the side of my head with my earrings into the cement."
He will probably do both.
So that would be fantastic. Does anybody know, are there any... Legends Plaza, of course, at the studio has all the hand and footprints. Are there any other prints there in Legends Plaza besides hands and prints? Does anybody know? Hands and feet?
I don't believe so. I think they're all. It's not like Grauman's where there's legs and other parts. I'm pretty sure it's all hands. There may be like one piece of jewelry or something in one of them, but I can't recall off the top of my head.
So hopefully.
I'd love to see Joe do other presentations, by the way, during the expo, aside from this, acceptance speech that we'll hear as part of this larger, event, to showcase him within one of the other venues would be fantastic. I had the opportunity on an Earth Day many years ago. He took us through the designs of Animal Kingdom and just learned so much about the design choices that they made, those that worked, those that maybe didn't, ways that they wanted to kind of revisit the notion of a theme park in some ways with their designs on Animal Kingdom. It was a really fascinating presentation. And it was, it was there in what is now the Finding Nemo Theater. And the idea of him sharing that type of deep dive, feels like a perfect fit at the fan event, and knowing that he's going to be honored, so therefore he's going to be in the vicinity around that time, kind of hoping. But like, we haven't heard any additional scheduling yet, but I
Well,
wouldn't mind that one being on the list of things I have to choose between.
in the Walt Disney Archive stage, they are going to have the conversation with legends, and they did say it could be some of the upcoming ones. So hopefully he will be somebody that sits down in there and has a discussion with Becky, because I think that would be amazing to hear.
That would be cool too.
Hi, Dan, the breaking news man. DTL tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. Expect you to be there. All right. Another Disney legend. There were a lot of, obviously, a big list of Disney legends, but only two in the arena of the parks. Joe Rohde, and a name that may have surprised some of us, because we know this person for years, and from working at the Disneyland Resort, and perhaps didn't realize, at least speaking for myself, did not realize the impact she had over her whole career to the point of being a Disney legend. So Martha Blanding, who people who've gone to Disneyland special events, especially I would say in the 90s and 2000s, you could not miss Martha Blanding as a special events manager there. She was everywhere with the talent. But her experience with Disney goes far beyond that. She was the first permanent full-time Black tour guide. She was the first Black woman in management at Disneyland. And now, and this was hard to believe, but she is the first Black Disney park employee to be a Disney legend. Not Black female, but Black period Disney employee to be named a Disney legend. And she has a book coming out in October. She's writing with Tim O'Day, who a lot of people may know. Groundbreaking Magic, A Black Woman's Journey Through the Happiest Place on Earth. And come Ultimate Fan event, she will be a Disney legend. So, wow, congratulations to Martha Blanding. Anyone else want to say anything about Martha?
It's exciting that she is being recognized. She's one of those people that, as a cast member at Disneyland, was always a name that would be brought up in just about every conversation, from line employees to when I was teaching tradition. She was groundbreaking and helped with merchandising and everything else for the park. So it's exciting, and it's good to see them bringing more people that aren't big names into legend status too.
I didn't realize that she had been such a groundbreaker. I didn't realize that she is one of those who kind of broke through barriers, in the era that she came up through the ranks of Disneyland. And I mean, honestly, most of my experience with her was as an enforcer, because she was the one who had to tell us, no, you can't have your book signed, or no, you can't, so that was kind of most of my dealings with her in merchandise, because that was kind of what her role was. That was her job. But yeah, so I didn't. You kind of wonder, just based on the time period, right? We know history. We can look at pictures and see there weren't very many people who looked like her during certain eras of the theme parks. But to know that she has a few of those firsts, I'm glad to see her get public acknowledgement of that, and for all of us to be aware of some of those dynamics within the company. It's pretty cool.
I should have prepped this ahead of time, but yeah, as I mentioned, she was the term they used specifically was the first permanent full-time Black tour guide, and so a quick search brought up this. You can see Martha back in the day.
Wow.
Nice.
I love it.
Awesome.
That's cool.
All right, so
if they called her a permanent tour guide, is she still a tour guide?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's how that works,
Yes.
Mike. Yeah.
Okay.
You're a permanent employee of LP, and you are never ever leaving. Exactly how that works.
It's like Hotel California. We're here for life.
And speaking of the D23 Ultimate Disney Fan event, don't forget that is coming up in August, early August this year. There is a day at Disneyland for D23. It's called the D23 Day at Disneyland Resort. They haven't given out too much about what that'll be, but there'll be a custom cavalcade, energetic dance party at Disneyland, photo opportunities, specialty foods, of course, theme merchandise, and more at both parks. They'll also have something at Disney Junior over at DCA. Prior to that, that's Thursday, August 8th, just before the day before the event. See, expo, you could say the expo, but what do you
Yeah.
say? The fan event, just before the fan event begins, and then prior to that, Sunday, August 4th, is the D23 Day at Angel Stadium, which would have been much more interesting if Otani had not changed teams, but he did. So still.
And then also during that week, I don't know if you're going to jump in on that, but I will steal your thunder.
Go for it.
During the entire week, there will be events going on at downtown Disney. There's also the packing district. They're going to have a night there that encourages D23 members and non-members to come and just socialize and have a good time. And that's free. They're doing an incredible screening with I can't think of the food tie that they have with it, but it's a street screening that will require tickets. And then I've also heard that there's more things coming they haven't finalized as of the other day. So we'll still keep hearing more and more. So really what used to be 3 days is now 7, 8 days.
It's huge. And what used to be one venue is now 2 venues.
Mm-hmm.
Transportation provided, they've made clear to us, between the convention center and the Honda Center.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but D23 Gold members, tickets tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Get on there early. You will be, if you choose the $297, starting at $297 tickets, you can select your seats. Or if you choose the 1 day for $99, you can select your seats at the Honda Center. And then there are also the lesser tickets that do not include the Honda Center that will get you into the convention center the entire time.
Lesser tickets.
Less expensive, sorry.
That sounds a little bougie there, Jeremiah. I'm not so sure about that.
Well, the price difference, really, we're looking at it, and the price difference between a 3-day without the Honda Center and a 3-day with the Honda Center is like $50 some odd. So even if you just go one night, you're getting that money back.
I'm interested to see how ticket sales go tomorrow. I'm intrigued to see if it's very challenging. If you're somebody who's looking for those lower price tickets, how quickly are those going to go versus kind of those upper tiers and those types of dynamics? It's going to be, because you expect kind of those extremes to go quickly, right? Yeah. The most expensive and the least expensive to go the most rapidly, but we'll see.
Well, one of the things they said to us was half of the tickets, starting at $297, not the starting at $999 tickets, half of those will be the $297 tickets. So when you start going down into the 400s and all the way up to the 750, 760 tickets, those will be, the remaining will be half that. So they definitely took into consideration that a lot of us just want to be in the room. We don't have to be as close as possible. But then there is the $999 that goes all the way up to $2,600 seats. That is the floor section. That's, if you're paying for the $2,600 seats, you really want to be up there for insert star's name here walking out on stage.
Oh yeah, totally.
Josh tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Hey, want to take a moment to mention Mouse Fan Travel. We're talking Disney Parks, Mouse Fan Travel. That's not what they should be. They should be like this. Mouse Fan Travel, our official. Okay, who cares? Mouse Fan Travel, our official travel agency. If you're going to Disneyland, Disney World, Adventures by Disney, Disney Cruise Line, any other Disney destination, we recommend Mouse Fan Travel because they'll take good care of you. As we always say, you should use a Disney travel agent. They can take care of a lot of the grunt work for you. Even if you don't use Mouse Fan Travel, investigate using a Disney travel agent. But we recommend MFT, Mouse Fan Travel. We've been with them for years. They take care of us. They're taking care of our CEO right now and our writer Alex as they're down in New Zealand on an Adventures by Disney. So, as always, Mouse Fan Travel. All right. Moving right along. Let's get Mike involved. Let's talk about, I'm going to get this right the very first time, Season.
Dino Valley. Oh.
Season of the Force, no S. So, before we get into any specifics, Mike, real quick, give us an overview of what Season of the Force is.
It is a 2-month-long celebration of all things Star Wars. I believe it's entirely within... No, it's not entirely within Disneyland Park, because there are a couple restaurants, I think, participating in Season of the Force at Downtown Disney, but there's nothing in DCA. So it's a celebration of Star Wars at Disneyland Resort. It will feature new additions to Star Tours. It will feature the return of Hyperspace Mountain, I believe. It will feature the celebration, the fireworks celebration in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, which is called something of the Rising Moon. I don't know.
Fire.
Fire.
Of the Rising Moon. Come
Yeah.
on.
Fire of the Rising Moon. That everybody is super excited for that. There's specialty food and beverage and merchandise, and people are just going nuts and lining up already.
Buckets.
And Photo Pass. Don't forget Photo Pass.
Photo pass.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. And then what did you say, Jeremiah? Some kind of bucket?
The
Jeff,
popcorn
Jeff,
bucket. I wore this shirt specifically because it's Jabba's.
There's a Jabba the Hutt popcorn bucket coming with the Salacious Crumb clip.
Which I just want the Salacious Crumb. Like the popcorn bucket is weird. But.
You, me, and Mike C are of the same mind when it comes to that. We want the clip.
Yeah.
I will definitely be getting the Salacious Crumb clip and probably wearing it forever after that on my backpack. The popcorn bucket I don't need. I've sworn off popcorn buckets, but it is a cool one. Jabba the Hutt. It looks like you're eating out of his mouth, which is kind of gross, but that's what Jabba's all about.
Ew. Jabba the Hutt's coming with the Season of the Force on April 5th. And also, do you like this one anymore, Mike? Is this one any better for you?
I actually do like this one. It feels very, in-universe, beat-up, lived-in Star Wars style. It's very fun. I'm curious to see the other side of it, I think. Like, is it fully formed around the entire thing? I don't know.
Looks like it.
Okay.
Are you going to put them on pyres out in front of your house? Get a bunch of them?
Yeah.
On pyres. And little sticks, too. Sorry, pipes.
So one of the major things whenever they do these kind of things is the food, and they did recently put out a food guide that we have on our website showing off some of the yummy vittles that will be coming on April 5th. Have you had a chance to look through any of this, Miss VP of Food?
Me? Have I had a chance to look at it? No, it is on my to-do list once I get off air, because tomorrow I'm going to be talking about Disneyland food with our friend Heather from Mouse Fan Travel, and I will be touching on some of the specialty items you find at times throughout the resort, like these. So yeah,
well,
on my to-do list.
In that case, if you want to learn more about what's coming up at Season of the Force in terms of food and drink, tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and Rebecca will be talking yummy vittles. Can we title it Rebecca and Becky? No, Rebecca and Heather talk yummy vittles at DLR?
I doubt it, but... But we're going to be talking about Disneyland food. We're going to each come in with some of our favorite restaurants within the various levels, whether fine dining or casual dining or quick service or things like this, specialty seasons, because Disneyland does all these neat little seasons of flavors, various festivals. So, yeah.
I love that idea.
I want to run something past you guys. I received a shirt from our friends at Disney Products. It has this logo on it. It's in the other room right now, which is why I'm not showing you this shirt. But do you think I can wear this to Season of the Force, even though it will no longer be March?
Yes. Yes. I vote for yes.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I mean, people may point and laugh, but you're a grown man. You can handle that.
I also give you permission to wear white after Labor Day.
Okay.
That's going a bit too far. I'm not sure about that. Let's see. So Mike briefly mentioned the fireworks show. So it's not a new fireworks show. Obviously, this is the main fireworks show that they do at Disneyland. And up until now, when you view that from Batuu, there's simply been no music because they didn't want to take you out of the immersion that is Batuu. And as we know, Batuu refuses to have music of any sort in there in the land. But now they are actually going to have music specifically set for Batuu, but still timed with the fireworks, and they're calling it Fire of the Rising Moons, and that will debut April 5th. Rebecca, are you looking forward to this? You excited about that?
I'm very, I'm very excited. This is something that we expected I expected from the
Yeah.
beginning of Galaxy's Edge arrival, because it was one of my favorite places to watch fireworks, frankly. I loved it when we got a chance to sneak over to the festival arena over there by Big Thunder Mountain Ranch and watch fireworks. So I am thrilled, finally. So I am looking forward to Mike's coverage of it in the weeks ahead. So yay!
So here's what they've said about the fireworks, the additional info we got. During this special gathering, villagers and visitors will come together to celebrate their freedom and to honor the heroes and legends of the galaxy who came before them. As the skies over Batu light up in bursts of color, imaginations are ignited with the iconic music associated with tales from across the galaxy. It will be a powerful moment you won't want to miss, and Magic Band Pluses will light up to go with it.
Woohoo!
And my understanding is that it will be the music that plays in Galaxy's Edge will change depending on the fireworks show that is happening, right?
Yeah, because hopefully it's not always just Mickey's
that
Mix
makes sense.
Magic.
Right, I understand.
Mike, do you remember when we first went to Galaxy's Edge and we, like, some of the people, the cast members were saying that there was going to be music for the fireworks?
Yeah, it was called like Oga's Celebration or
Yeah,
something.
and then we like all stood there like nothing's happening.
But I heard to further go into what I was saying. I think that the fireworks show this coming or next week will be Wondrous Journeys. Is that right?
I think that's what we're in. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when Pixar Fest starts, it's going to turn into Together Forever, and that will have different Star Wars music along with it.
Does it seem weird?
Misinterpreting that.
Does it seem weird that you can have the same fireworks show work for both Together Forever for Pixar and something Star Wars? Maybe the fireworks shows aren't as intricate as, but I feel like they create the pyro to set the mood for the particular show.
Here's a giant happy face over Galaxy's Edge. That's going to be what I want to know, what their theme is, or the heart, or, you know. In fact, yes, I agree with you, Doobie, that it's like, how is this music going to tie in with the box when those pop up, or the weird like designs they started doing?
There's only so far you can go.
Jeremiah's agreeing with me. I am not happy. So let us move on to the single.
What am I, Tony?
To the single biggest announcement to come out since the last time an announcement like this came out. We have another ship coming, and we know its name. So I'm going to ask real quick. Thumbs up, thumbs down from each of you. Well, I'll do it on the count of three. Disney Destiny, Disney's next ship after the treasure. Thumbs up, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I had to think about it. Sorry.
Okay, so up wins, because I'm neutral. I refuse to take a stand. So the Disney Destiny will be coming in 2025. It is the final ship in the Triton class, following the Wish and the Treasure. And we don't know too much about it at this point. We do know what it's called, the Disney Destiny. We do know the theme of it is heroes and villains, and we know the bow will have superhero mini on it, or
Mighty Mouse.
This
Superhero Mighty Mouse.
This I am not fond of.
Continue.
I think it's because it's a full body pose, and it's not a full body pose that's like a classic image. So I think that's why. I think if it would have just been like a torso, I would feel different of it, head and shoulders thing. Evil Queen with the thumbs down, really. But yeah, well, I'm interested as to why they opted to stick with Mickey or Minnie. Why they didn't branch out into a different character, because since it's going heroes and villains, I mean, they definitely have a pantheon of heroes to choose from, or villain, depending. I don't know, but it's okay.
I'm just happy they wrote a theme song for it already. That's really nice that it's already there. It's so perfectly.
It was really creepy that night. For the first time ever that Gideon and I can remember, it's that Destiny song from Disney Parks. It's from Mission Space, right?
Yes.
Played on Sirius XM Disney Hits as we were driving around. We're like, whoa, that's wild. But
So
yeah,
this is build S706, if I'm reading that correctly. And the reason we feel they had to bring the name out now is because it was time to lay the keel. And as a part of laying the keel, they always put a coin under there. And the coin is right here. It's got the name on it. So the name was going to come out. So they had a ceremony, as they always do with the keel laying ceremony. Tony Romo was a part of it, as you can see.
that's what I said when I saw it.
He really does look like Tony Romo. But no, that is not Tony Romo.
Somebody walked up. I am your density.
Anyway.
I want it to be Mara in the lobby.
Right.
And
We have a
so
question.
Every time I go into the lobby, I get a different destiny. Sometimes it's like the wealth. Sometimes it's wisdom.
So Wish is Cinderella. Treasure is Aladdin, the adventure. Who would be the perfect hero and villain lobby atrium statue? Anybody?
It's Merida.
Why?
Her saying about destiny. It's going to be Merida.
Okay.
Oh, I'd like it to be her.
Can we put this pin on this date that Jeremiah said this?
It's going to be Merida, and it's
is
a Scottish castle.
I don't know who it is. I guarantee you, it will not be Merida.
I want it to be Hercules, and I want it to be like a Greek temple.
That has infinitely more chance than Merida. Is there any chance they will do a hero and a villain?
I don't know. What's Mike's choice?
I was going to say Michael Caine from the 1988 romantic comedy Mr. Destiny.
Okay.
I think Gary Sinise for a while because of the whole Mission Space connection. That would be weird. So
Who would you pick? Who would you pick for the atrium?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I like the idea of having, if it's heroes and villains, let's do something a little bit different, and let's have a hero and a villain together.
Why would they be in the lobby together?
Because it's the theme. You can have them slaying, like maybe Mickey Mouse slaying Maleficent, or or Chernabog. I don't know. I like that idea.
Ooh, what if it was like
Chernabog would be sweet.
What if it was like a Maleficent dragon up in that upper balcony, and then like a Prince Philip horse on a horse in the lobby or something? That
then they'd catch on fire, but Mike would have already gotten off the ship.
Evil Queen just hears Destiny's Child with that name, so thinks that Beyonce will be the fairy godmother of the
that would make so much sense.
By the way, Kyle's asking a question from the last conversation that we should ask Mike about.
How does Mike feel about visiting Cetos now rather than Viridia? I don't even understand the question.
So I think there was some confusion in one of the press releases about which planet from Ahsoka we would be visiting in the new Star Tours. I think Cetos is the one with all the red leaves on the trees. So that one's a little bit more visually appealing. Peridia is kind of like a dead planet. It does have that cool, like, witch's castle, though.
Wait, was this press release something we released, or are we just breaking an embargo?
No. It was announced. There was a announcement. There was visuals that we have of Peridia.
Okay. I read it too, so I believe you.
I didn't know anything about an embargo.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Kyle's the one that asked the question, so I gotta believe we're in good shape because that's kind of his department there. And Kyle, if you're wrong, let us know right now. But in the meantime, we will move on to every time I feel like finally we are back. Everything is back. That got taken away during the pandemic. So here's one more thing that gives us finally everything is back. And that is the return of pin trading with cast members. There's no embargo. They announced it as one thing and edited it to another. Got you. Thank you very much, Kyle. Pin trading. Whoa. That's not right. There we go. Now I got to fix that over there. I like this program a lot, but it's got issues. So anyway,
Jeremiah, real quick, tell us what's going on with pin trading while I fix this.
Pin trading is back fully. Cast members will have lanyards. Pin trading has been coming back very slowly. So, what are you doing, Dookie?
There we go.
There you
Okay.
go. They had pin boards out for the longest time. Recently, Disney Springs brought back actual pin trading with lanyards and hip pin trading, and now they're going to go back to cast members everywhere having pin trading. So hopefully that means that we'll have good pins on a lot of these and not just the same old scrappers. Sorry, that's the pinaholic in me talking.
Get rid of the reservations, you know, fully back. Yeah, I'm starting to think that just is not going to happen, Justin. The reservations are here to stay.
As somebody who was at the Disneyland Resort last weekend, no, it's so not happening. It was insane for the food and wine and everything, and I couldn't imagine if it was just open.
Hey, Kyle, if you happen to be in the Dayton, Ohio area, we're going to be celebrating pins at Dayton Disneyana. It's June 7th, 8th, and 9th. You can visit Dayton Disneyana. You can check out their Facebook group. Yeah, we're excited. We're going to be doing a lot of pin talks throughout that weekend event, have lots of pin trading happening. There's also vendors. It's a typical, expo/con type of event celebrating all things Disney in June in Dayton, Ohio. But this year we're really focusing a lot on pins as part of the fun. So I'm excited. Gonna bring my pins, do some pin trading, learn a little bit more about how they design pins. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time.
And maybe we can finally get rid of that one with Mickey and that press
Shut
hat.
it. Shut it. Kyle, if you happen to be in the Anaheim area, April 20th and 21st, there will be the Disneyana convention or Disneyana group going on right down the street from Disneyland, where they'll be celebrating pins. And I was going to try to say the same thing you did, Rebecca, but I couldn't remember it all. But they are also celebrating the director of the Disney Archives, Becky Klein, is receiving the Disneyana award. So that's going on April 20th and 22nd, and there's the Disneyana show and sale on the 21st also.
Oh, you'll be in Indiana. There you go. See? Ta-da!
That's crazy.
So yeah, visit Dayton Disneyland on Facebook. Learn more about it. Lots of fun. Fun group of people.
All right, let's get back to Walt Disney World. Jeremiah, tell us all about Dreams That Soar.
Dreams That Soar. Yes, it's true. Drones are coming back to the United States parks. After a very, very short run at Disney Springs. Was it Disney Springs then, or was it Downtown Disney still?
It's a good question.
I think it was Disney Springs.
Yeah, I think it was, because it was after we left. So.
Yeah, we had drones for a Christmas show, and then they disappeared, and then all the amazing stuff that they've done in the international parks. Now we're finally getting drones here at Walt Disney World. They will be at Disney Springs starting May 25th. I can't remember 24th. The date off. 24th. I knew it was somewhere right around there. We don't know much about it other than it will be happening.
Oh no, we know a lot. We know a lot. You Can Fly takes on a whole new meaning as the sky will showcase Disney stories celebrating the joy of flight with state-of-the-art drones choreographed to create designs in the sky and paired with a soaring musical score and memorable movie quotes.
Can I ask a question? Am I being cynical to wonder if we're actually going to see Disney characters in this show?
What do you mean, like the drones?
The description just
Disney
says
characters?
The description says shapes or something, right?
Designs in the sky.
It doesn't say see your favorite Disney characters as they soar through, which is the kind of messaging I would have expected if I'm going to see like Dumbo in the sky, right?
I could definitely see Dumbo happening.
So I
see what you're saying. It seems odd, but I can't imagine. Yeah, I'm hoping that's just someone not being explicit with that.
And everything's subject to change still. So I could see like a magic carpet and those showing up, but it also depends on how many drones we're actually getting for this show.
Well, that was what led me to question it. Was I just wondered. I wondered the kind of the depth of, I don't know how to describe it, but pixelation other than anything.
Resolution.
Thank you. available, what could they actually form? Will they be, so yeah, I'm waiting.
There's at least
I
12
am
drones.
cautiously excited I'm excited that drones are coming, but I am not anticipating I don't know. This press release has me very guarded in my level of enthusiasm for it.
In all honesty, I think Geo may be onto something. First of all, Dave Raguso has a good move. Book your DVC room at Saratoga Springs, and if you're going to do that, we highly recommend Mouse Fan Travel. If you're not, even if you are, I don't even know if they handle DVC points, but if you're just booking it, which you can do, Mouse Fan Travel. Maybe Geo is onto something here in that this is kind of a test, because I would not expect this to be the all-out show like we've seen in other parks, because it's at Disney Springs. No one's paying for it. Two reasons: no one's paying extra for it. And it's not like Disney Springs is lacking for people. You don't want to triple the number of people coming every night and making it even more of a madhouse. So I would not be so shocked if this is a little bit of a smaller scale test type show leading into. Now, you remember the first drone show, Jeremiah. Obviously, drone technology has changed a lot since then.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of scale was that?
It was, not to say it was sad, but it was sad. They formed like a Christmas tree, an angel. That's the other big thing about this. If it is a test or if it isn't, this is the only place that they can really do it without having to shut down parts of the park right now. This will happen on the far end, which is, I don't remember what the parking lot is called at that end, but it's next to Cirque du Soleil. So they'll come out in the parking lot over there and go over the lake. So the biggest challenge with this is there isn't a great dead-on view. Like, unless it's way further back, which it can't be, because then you go into Saratoga Springs or the other DVC locations. But it'll be interesting to see how many drones are actually part of this.
I found the press release very downplayed, and so I'm intrigued to see what it actually is in execution.
My anticipation for this is probably tempered to where it should be now, but that will be coming May 24th through September 2nd. They said nightly, every night, and we will find out in only 2 months
Under
what this
promise,
is.
over deliver. That's what they should.
Yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
especially since this is coming on the heels of the astounding, mesmerizing, earth-shattering electrical parade in the sky, right?
Right.
So they really have to be careful, because clearly it's not going to rise to the levels of artistry that we saw there. I can't imagine. I mean, I would.
And then if it does, then we're just all jumping for joy, going,
we got it for free! Woohoo!
Like Mike. Mike had his expectations for water, knowing he was about to get some beer. All right. Also coming, so like Thursday, just all of a sudden, we just got all these announcements coming Thursday for what's happening this summer. June 10th, Inside Out characters will be coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios. I don't think they said if we have any of the new characters.
No, they only showed Joy, I believe,
right,
which is interesting because that means that they're cutting down the exit of imagination, so Joy won't be there, which leads into the next story of.
Continue, Jeremiah.
I was waiting for your next jump. The Communicore Plaza, where they're having the character meet and greets, which was known as Mickey and Minnie, but they also had Figment in some of the concept art. So if Figment is moving over that way, what's happening with all of that? I mean, to look into my crystal ball that, hopefully has some facts to it, we could see Figment move out of Imagination. Joy is moving over to Disney's Hollywood Studios. Come August, we get an announcement of the buildings closing for something new to come.
Jeremiah's in a predicting mood today. I like that.
Well, they are also building a new DVC lounge out here, so.
As Jeremiah mentioned, Communicore Plaza, Communicore Hall, they have been announced to be opening on June 10th, including the addition of an Encanto show. And let's see, so this is June 10th through September 6th. Everyone will be talking about Bruno, As a new summer sing-along show featuring the beloved songs and story of the hit film. It's in development now. It's a limited time show. It's Celebración Encanto several times throughout the day and will not only invite guests to sing along with some of their favorite songs, but they'll also spot Mirabelle and Bruno on the newly opened Communicore Plaza stage. So, will that, Jeremiah, officially bring to a close the giant Epcot project that started back in 1907?
It should, as far as the Central Plaza area goes. I did just read that there's some more walls up back in the World Showcase, but that has nothing to do with this project. So yes, hopefully, I can't think of what the story you're leading into, but yes, it will tie everything together for Epcot, and we will be moving towards the future.
Gio, shame only a handful of people watch the Encanto show according to the art.
What do you think of this art, Mike?
I will say that when I first saw it, I thought the kids were holding up that ribbon that was, or whatever that is, the banner going across the bottom of the stage, because they have their arms up there, and I thought, well, why would they make the kids like hold that up throughout the entirety of the show? But then I realized those are two separate things. Otherwise, I have no thoughts. I enjoy Encanto. I like the songs for sure.
This initial thoughts was this felt like a school.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's where, and so I had to read. The image did not communicate to me what I was about. I had to read.
It's very, like Gio said.
I'm excited for
17
Encanto
people will
music.
enjoy it.
I love Encanto music, so I'm excited that we're getting this showcase. It was just funny to me that the image that came out with it. Yes, Jeremiah.
So reading between the lines, what is the end date for that, Doobie?
It runs until September 6th.
And you know what we have not gotten an announcement for? When Food and Wine starts.
Oh.
Do you have a guess, Jeremiah?
September, what day is the 6th? Is that a Friday? So I'd go with shortly thereafter, because they haven't announced Food and Wine. We know that they're not going to go back to back with Flower and Garden like they have in the past. And this area was touted as being the central location for all festivals. So it's a good way to fill that spot for summer and then be able to have it open for Food and Wine starting September 10th or whatever the following Wednesday or Thursday is.
But that image of Encanto, it made me remember one of the things that I had loved about studios back in like the late 90s, early zeros. And I loved it that the studios was the place where you would go see the latest and greatest, right? Mulan hits theaters, takes a little bit, but then you get a parade. Hercules hits theaters, then you get a parade. High School Musical explodes onto Disney Channel. You go there, you see the little show that would set up and disappear. Those kinds of things. I miss that aspect of Disney parks. I miss kind of it being there being kind of a pep rally, latest and greatest celebration type dynamic happening within the park. So to have Encanto pop up, and if this location is such that now it'll be Encanto, but when the next big thing comes, that pretty soon you'll be able to go experience highlights from it in the location in that venue.
Wait,
that excites me.
It's coming back?
What?
It's coming back?
What?
I thought it was supposed to be like every 27 years.
You said highlights from it, and I unfortunately heard it the same way Jeremiah did.
I also heard it that way. Pennywise the clown jumped into my head when you said that.
No, Rebecca, I believe the word you were looking for was synergy.
Well, yes, but that was used to death, so I prefer Disney pep rally. Much like Fan Event to me is too similar to Fan Fest, which typically is free.
Free after you pay for it. One other summer happening they announced was Disney's Animal Kingdom. Its summer celebration will be the 30th anniversary of The Lion King, which I can't believe is 30 years old. That hurts me so much.
Wow.
So from June 10th through September 6th, it will celebrate the classic film with food, merchandise, you know the drill. Timon and Rafiki will be there, which presumably means they won't be making their float around anymore, but they'll be meeting and greeting at Rafiki's Planet Watch. So,
Wow.
there you
So
go.
Joy coming to Hollywood Studios, and fun people coming to Animal Kingdom, and Encanto coming to Epcot. Lots going on
If
elsewhere.
only something was happening in Magic Kingdom this summer.
Yeah, if only.
Well, they haven't announced anything, so nothing I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Just,
What's up next, Mr. Doobie?
up next is let's see. David Russo gave us a little help here. He said, unrelated news. Is the Epcot beginning show coming on Disney Plus? Well,
Funny
let's
you should
check out
mention that.
the artwork and see if we can glean anything from that. Epcot Becoming Inside the Transformation is coming to Nat Geo on April 29th. And following that, not exactly sure when, it will be on Hulu and Disney Plus. What is Epcot Becoming, by the way? Jeremiah.
Epcot Becoming is pretty much the story of Epcot since 1907. Is that when you said, Doobie? Of the reconstruction of the Epcot from, I would say, from that fountain that's brand new that they just put in 3 weeks ago, all the way to the central area. I can almost guarantee that we're going to see some great time-lapse footage of stuff, because we haven't gotten any good Disney time-lapse footage in a while.
My hope is, since this is being done by Nat Geo, that this is kind of similar to the Disney Wish special that Nat Geo did when that ship came out, and I thought they did a really, really nice job on that. So my hope is this is in that same vein, and it's just going to be a continuing thing that Nat Geo does with their synergies with the theme park. That was great, and this was a nice surprise to stumble on this and find out we've got a cool new special coming. If Samantha Brown's in it, I will have a heart attack.
Samantha Brown doing anything these days?
She's on my TikTok all the time. Yeah. TikTok.
Sorry, Doobie, did you never mind. Can you do a dance for us, Doobie?
No. TikTok is more than dances, Jeremiah. Much more than dances. I watch it for aviator TikTok. I follow every pilot I can find. Here I am, a day in the life as a pilot.
Me flying a plane.
I wake up, get ready, go to the airport. Anyway, sorry, Rebecca.
No, so David, thanks for asking about it, because initially, just based on that graphic, there was a lot of thought that it was coming to all of those at the same time, but Nat Geo was nice enough to clarify that it will be coming to a Nat Geo location April 29th, and we are still awaiting the date that we will be able to see it on Hulu and Disney Plus. So, and that's a little confusing, because if you're somebody who has a Hulu Live, that's where you would watch Nat Geo. So, that's why I'm careful in how I word that. It's all so confusing now.
Plus Hulu.
Someone called that an air date, and I'm like, air? What air?
Wait, my home screen on Disney Plus changed colored. What does that mean? Do I have all these available? Am I getting Paramount Plus now too?
You know what? Disney Plus changed color, and now so has Sling TV. Sling TV's icon used to look almost identical to Disney Plus, and now Disney Plus changed to this more teal look, and Sling went with white background, teal lettering. I'm like, for real?
I am so thankful Disney Plus changed their logo color, because it means we can afford to pay Mike for another month, because that article was just buffo on our thing.
Yeah. A lot of people read about that.
Oh yeah, we owned that keyword. Let me tell you.
Woohoo! Way to go, Kyle.
Let's see what's up next. So Epcot Becoming, Joffrey's has coffee, Dark Side. Are you into this at all, Rebecca? You're a coffee drinker.
I do, but I don't pay a lot of attention to the flavors coming out there. But yeah, Joffrey's coffee I like. I find it smooth. I enjoy it when I go to Florida. I particularly like their shaken Jamaican, which is one of those that has a little bit of flavoring to it. But I want to try this Dark Side blend, the one in the middle with Vader that says it's strong and smoky. That sounds interesting to me. So
Tastes
maybe
just
I'll
like
have
Vader.
to take a look and pick one of these up. What?
It tastes just like Vader.
Tastes just like
Is this
Are you-
in the parks?
This is on shelves in their site, as I recall.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering why it was a parks talk thing.
Yeah. Well, because Joffrey's is synonymous
It's
with
the Disney
theme
Parks coffee.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, They are the
Yeah.
official Disney parks.
So you can purchase it at Disney Springs as well as on their website. Are you a coffee drinker, Mike? Star Wars boy?
No, I don't drink coffee at all.
What?
Wow.
How did I not know this? Oh, okay.
I think it's disgusting.
Wow. Thanks, Joffrey's, for that sponsorship.
Hey, Doobie is not a coffee drinker either. He drinks
disgusting.
those things that are like milk with a splash of coffee and sugar, lots of sugar. But yeah, no, he doesn't drink coffee either. Are you a coffee drinker, Jeremiah?
I am not. Hot drinks, hot cocoa,
Oh, that's
and
right.
hot butterbeer are it, and that's usually only when it's 30 degrees.
No iced coffee even?
No, coffee.
Oh, Gio.
Not my thing.
Gio, I should have had you on to talk with me about the amazingness that is Joffrey's coffee, because Gio understands. Gio
Kyle
gets it.
loves Joffrey's too. I believe Kyle and Luke are both Joffrey's boys.
Oh, okay, well, cool. At least I have somebody to chat with about iced coffee. I can't believe none of you are coffee drinkers. Wow.
We're losers, Rebecca. We're losers. Anyway, next up on our list, our boys, as I mentioned earlier, the CEO of this company, Benji, and our most prolific writer, Alex, are currently in New Zealand, where it is now 1:55 p.m. on Tuesday. Mind blown. And coffee is life, says Gio. Wow. And so here are their adventure guides.
Dusty! That was our adventure guide when we were tackling the wilds of Wyoming.
So I did not know they would be doing live trip reports, but day one is up. They actually did this for their around the world journey, which was amazing that they did that, and they're doing it now too. So be sure to tune in for that. Follow along on their adventure as it happens, and we all can pretend like we're down under right now. Alex, I presume this is written by Alex. Yes, Alex does an incredible job on these trip reports as they happen. I don't know when in the world he sleeps.
I did that for my South Africa trip. That was not a fun time, especially trying to upload. It was fun to write, but yeah, at 3:00 in the morning, and I'm like, I have to be up in 2 hours.
So when I looked at that itinerary, it looks like a ton of fun, but those ABDs can be very, very busy.
Yeah. In-person pin receipts, though, that's nice, because that was something that had gone away with COVID, and because people didn't want to be handling things that other people had handled, and so I'm glad to see that part of the Adventures by Disney fun is back, because there's a story that they weave throughout your journey.
Mickey's got a muscle in that.
And they accent that with these pins that they give out each day. So each pin kind of reminds you of the location that you visited, and then, like I say, kind of that story that they weave over the course of your trip. So
can I tell a quick story about mine? When in South Africa each day they do that, and they always surprise us. One of the highlights was I think we're at the elephant area, and they picked up a piece of elephant dung and cracked it open, and it had the pin in there. Of course, it wasn't real elephant dung, but then they're like, okay, who wants this one? So they always find interesting ways to present the pins to trick people into like, oh, we didn't even see that coming.
Yeah, our ABD, they still were sending them to us beforehand, so we did not get that experience, and I look forward to getting that experience. All right, finally, we had late breaking additions to our itinerary today, so I present to you Mike Celestino.
Woo!
I drove down to Carlsbad, California last week, and I got to go to the grand opening of a newly rethemed area of Legoland, California. It's called Dino Valley. It includes 3 previously existing attractions that have now been rethemed to dinosaur theme. Well, I want to say Coastersaurus was already Coastersaurus, but I could be wrong about that. There's the opening ceremony. They had a little Jeep. There was also people on a stage talking about it, and then got to explore the land. I got to do all 3 rides. They did not let me shoot video on the Coastersaurus, but the other 2 we have ride-through videos of on the Laughing Place YouTube channel. In addition to a walkthrough of the land itself, there's a little hat they were giving away.
You're,
Little
you're
pit
not wearing
helmet.
your hat for the show?
I
can't
didn't
believe
get. I think they were only giving them to children, but I happened to see this one sitting on a trash can, so I took a picture of it.
Okay, you're excused.
Oh, it's a trash can. Sorry.
There's some Lego dinos breaking out of Lego eggs.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So you rode this, Mike?
I did.
Oh, that's what they did with their safari ride. Okay.
So there was a funny moment that got cut out of the final video, but when I was boarding the ride, I attempted to get into the front row, not realizing that that's intended for the children. But my legs didn't even fit between the steering wheel and the seats, so I ended up in the back. But yeah, that was a little fun moment.
Now, Mike, I was going to say, didn't they take out of my favorite attraction, the Storybook
Yeah.
boat ride, and now it's just Jurassic Park without the Jurassic Park?
It very much, by the way, this was also my favorite attraction at Legoland, California. It has now been rethemed from a fairy tale theme to dinosaurs. It very much feels like the junior version of Jurassic Park, the ride.
I love
Does the
that.
For better or
Brontosaurus shoot
worse.
water through its nose at you?
Kind of, yeah. There's a plesiosaur that shoots water at you, but like the progression of the dinosaurs is the same. Like I was thinking, like, okay, goes from Brontosaurus to Stegosaurus to Hadrosaur or whatever, and then they're all in like the same order.
Is it the same ride vehicles as it was before? Those
Yeah.
Because don't they really feel free floating? They kind of bob a little bit.
Oh wow,
They do. Yeah, this is the plesiosaur that spits at you. It doesn't actually get you wet, but it spits near you.
What's the point of it spitting near you?
It's for small children.
I know. Have you been a child, Jeremiah?
Yeah, they love to get wet. Let's talk about Gideon and every splash pad in Walt Disney World.
When I showed this video to my wife Tori, she asked me, "Why is there a castle on this dinosaur ride?" And the answer is because it used to be a fairy tale themed ride.
That was probably one of the cheesiest rides I think I have ever been on in my life, and it was so good. Now I'm sad.
It was great.
But...
Same exact ride layout and system, just different Lego builds around you.
We may have to put this on our D23 Fan Fest day after to do this.
This is Coastersaurus. Like I said, I couldn't get video, but it was fun. They let you go around twice. I don't know if that was the way beforehand.
Oh, wow. They don't do that here for our dragon coaster. It's only once. And the Coastersaurus here is their old Woody coaster that they built back in the early 2000s. So we don't have the cool stuff. Wow, I need to go down to Legoland.
So is that a seasonal overlay or is that a permanent change here?
Permanent change. It was a fun event. Glad I got to be there for that. I was trying to remember what the land was called before. I didn't even know if it had a name. It was pretty like disjointed. Nothing really matched each other. So now it has like a unifying theme. It's right as you're walking through the entrance. If you take a left, you'll go through Dino Valley, and then from Dino Valley you go into Lego Movie Land.
According to a source named Google, Dino Valley replaced the park's former Explorer Island theme. The land also replaced the Safari Trek and Fairy Tale Brook rides, as you mentioned. So,
yeah.
Thank you, Google. Anything else, Mike, you want to talk about from Legoland or anything else you got working on, coming up? Anything?
Very excited to go to Season of the Force media event next week at the end of next week. Rebecca and I will be there bright and early Friday morning, April 5th.
Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that we'll get to see Donald's boat because the walls finally came down. Geo points that out, but the walls came down around Donald's boat. So I haven't had a chance to see it sans walls. So fingers crossed it'll still look like that by the time I make it down to the resort. I also wanted to point out that SeaWorld has been having a celebration. So you can find coverage of that on Laughing Place. Luke was at Orlando over the weekend. They were doing like a little cake and ribbon cutting each morning for the past few days because it's turned 60. And so they were doing a bi-coastal. So
Yeah,
lots of fun at SeaWorld Orlando and SeaWorld San Diego.
I have to point out the fun of that. They really kicked off the SeaWorld 60th at Orlando, which last year was celebrating their 50th anniversary. So they're doing Disney very well with the dates. But yes, San Diego kicked off it's their 60th anniversary, and they actually had a giant reunion of ambassadors, as they're called at SeaWorld, right after that, and it looked amazing. So SeaWorld is doing a great job. Did you guys talk about the new entrance that they're getting? The SeaWorld.
I think we touched on it a few weeks ago, but
okay.
Not sure.
San Diego's redoing their entrance again to make it more almost simplistic, more like it used to be.
Thank you. Jeremiah, anything else you wanted to mention before we say goodbye?
I also will be writing Star Tours before either of the two people that are on here. So I guess I need that press release so I can know the names also.
Cetos.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m., Barely Necessities with the Beccas. 7:30 p.m. These times are all Pacific. We have Doobie and Gideon with the return of Disney Trivia Live. I'm so sorry we weren't there for you last Saturday, Mike. And go ahead.
I will be here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific. We're going to be talking about Disneyland foods. It's a little segment we've been calling Disney Vacation Insights. Team with Heather of Mouse Fan Travel to discuss it. Mouse Fan Travel being our recommended travel agency. I know we're beginning to wrap up, but Danielle asks a question here, and I can touch on it real quick.
We like questions.
I'd love to hear your thoughts about the Honda Center location for D23. I'm excited by it. I feel like it gives them a larger venue to showcase things to people in a larger number of people. I'm concerned about the logistics because you're now dealing with, that's been one of the challenges overall with the D23 Fan event, has been getting kind of people in and out the door. And so now you're adding another component to that. So we'll wait and see how that goes. But Honda Center has its own staff who deal with these kinds of events frequently. So one would hope that, it'll be a smoother process than maybe we've seen, getting people into the convention center. Getting you to the convention center, once again, we'll wait and see how to the convention center. I'm sorry, to the Honda Center and out from the Honda Center, right? Those are going to be the things, but it shouldn't be any different to me than we've seen with any concert or hockey game or whatnot. But overall, I'm very excited about it because I've had friends who go to the expo and they didn't get into any of these big presentations. And for many people, that's like the central portion of it. And they'd have to camp out for it. They'd have to invest so much effort to have access to the room where it happens. And now I feel like many more people are going to just be able, you don't even have to fight with the convention center if you don't want, right? You can purely invest in the Honda Center location if that's what your goal is. My funny thing for me is I've never been the person to go be in the big room. I did that once or twice. I tended to visit all the smaller seminars, the smaller presentations. And so I'm eager to see what having those large presentations offsite, how that frees up space. What kinds of additional presentations do we now see within the convention center itself because they're using this location for that? Not only do you not have the big presentation happening in there, so you don't have to have that nugget of time blocked off for rehearsal, for setup, for everything. You also don't have to have all those people queuing somewhere. So I'm interested to see how all of that impacts kind of that Anaheim Convention Center experience. So now that I've hogged the time, I will let you guys chime in.
So I was at the press announcement for all this, and I also just did a podcast with Disney Coast to Coast. One of our friends, Jeff, we were both there, and we talked about this. They definitely drove home the transportation is their biggest challenge, and they're still working on things. And as we definitely talked about, you can't try something new without the chance of failure. We're not guaranteeing that, hey,
Positive. You cannot try something new without the chance of failure. When Ryan tries to speak intelligently, it does not go well.
Somebody muted Jeremiah. Goodbye, Jeremiah. What are your thoughts as somebody who goes to a lot of different fan cons? Mike C.
Yeah, I think it definitely solves that big problem of, am I going to get into this thing that I really want to see? Which for the major conventions that I go to, this is really the first of its kind that I know of, is basically like selling you a ticket to get into, my understanding is you buy this ticket, if it includes the Honda Center, you're guaranteed to get in. So
with the reserved seat.
yeah, so that's great. I bet that's probably addressing one of the major complaints from years past of people, answering a poll or responding to, some kind of email like, what are your major issues with the D23 Expo, and people are just wanting to be there, like you said, in the room where it happens. And it's going to be really exciting to have like a huge crowd, even bigger than usual, cheering and applauding for all those big announcements in that arena.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dewey.
Actually, it just seems like a no-brainer to have a location large enough to handle everyone that wants to go. That's at the convention, and the fact that it also includes, or at least I shouldn't say everyone that wants to go, but you'll know before you go.
Yeah.
If they sell out and you don't get a ticket, it's like any other concert.
Right.
But you're not going to go to Expo and then find out you can't go. That's just the worst case scenario. So, and the fact that it also includes an assigned seat, so you don't even have to think about getting there 3 hours early and trying to crawl your way to the front or whatever.
Yeah.
Assuming the transportation ends up being not a huge deal, this seems like an obvious great solution to probably the number one problem the Expo had from day one.
And as Gio points out in the comments, the add-on cost, they didn't kind of price it out as much as some of us thought they might, with this additional venue. Yeah, so now it'll be interesting. Like I say, for me, it'll be interesting to see what happens, because we're going to once again have that reservation system for the daytime panels, for the panels that are occurring on the 5 stages. Well, I'm guessing probably 4 stages, because I'm guessing that 5th one may not be a seated stage, but that's just total guess because it's on the show floor. So I'm guessing the 4 stages are going to be ones where there's, kind of doors to access. How that reservation process goes, because the last time it was terrible. People would put in requests. I know a friend of ours, didn't get any big expos, ended up getting the same giveaway multiple times over the course of the weekend instead. Things like this. It just really...
Was that Cole?
No, I don't know if Cole did. I'm pretty sure Gio ended up getting like...
Cole told me a similar thing.
Yeah. And it wasn't even like it was different pennants. It was like the same pennant giveaway throughout the weekend, and no panels. And, just hopefully they've kind of sifted out that reservation process, because that felt incredibly broken based upon some of the experience. Whereas I think I ended up getting two presentations of some sort that was like, whoa, okay, that, I didn't expect the it to be possible to, do that. So yeah, it was, I'm eager to see how all of that pans out. If you're going, Danielle, we're going to have a booth. Laughing Place will have a booth. We'll be having lots of fun there. Giveaways and other frivolity. So yeah, I was right. It was Gio with the giveaway, with the freebie luck. No panels, just freebies. So yeah.
See you there. Excited. And also WonderCon, I didn't mention. I'll be at WonderCon Anaheim this weekend.
Woohoo!
If anyone sees me around.
Nice.
He's gone. I was just slow in removing him. Jeremiah had some tech issue that took him out. If you missed it, Tony, rewind. You got to hear the timing of Jeremiah getting kicked out. All right. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Again, 3-show Tuesday tomorrow. 3 show Tuesday with Rebecca at 10 doing Disney Vacation Insights, and then at 4 p.m. she'll be back with Barely Necessities, and then I will be back 7:30 p.m. Disney Trivia Live. All 3 of those are Pacific times. Oh, cool. We're doing. Oh, awesome. Hopefully we get to see it. Come say hi, please. And bye-bye.